Hey all, and today we take a little bit of a trip back in time, but one that I am ecstatic to be able to make when we look at, no, not Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus, but the X2 Toys XT009 upgrade kit for this guy. We're going to compare the stock to the upgrade kit. That's going to be our focus this time around in the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, light them up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I am either a mod or an admin for. You can see those links in the description. Check me out all across social media. All those links also in the description. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, man, why not hit the donate link, or you can check us out on Patreon, or see what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course hit the join button right here on YouTube to become a channel member. And this is Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus. Now, this guy has the KBB Core Fighter, which is the KO of the Perfect Effect PC-17 set. Whether you have the Perfect Effect version or the KBB version, it is fantastic, and it gives you the smaller inner robot, and it gives you a more accurate chest. A couple of tolerances with the KOs. I'm sure that the Perfect Effect fits perfectly, but I'm still pretty happy with it. But more to the point today, we're looking at the X2 Toys set, which gives us this big blaster, and it gives us new forearms and hands, and it gives us new shins and feet, and it gives us a bunch of fillers. There's a lot here. Luckily, I do have a separate stock Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus that I can actually compare alongside this guy. Side-by-side comparison. Not something I get to do often, so I'm excited to do it to see what this set adds, if anything. So without any further ado, let's head over to the table and take a closer look at this set. And so our two Ultra Magni, whatever the plural is, are here, and they look very similar. One is the stock version that comes in package. The other has been upgraded, of course, with our topic of the day, the X2 Toys XT009 kit, which is somewhat challenging to find and came in two variants. You can get a deeper kind of blue variant that goes with the Takara red-thighed version of Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus, and you can get the version that goes with the Combiner Wars version of Ultra Magnus with the lighter blue and whatnot. Also on here is the KO PC-17 set, which provides a new chest and a head adapter, and really makes the white cab section not only a separate cab, but a separate robot as well. I looked at that KO way back in episode 540. Excellent KO of an excellent set. Obviously, if you can get the official, get it. But if you can't, KBB's Core Fighter is pretty great and works extremely well. So I won't be covering that here, naturally, but what I will be covering is the differences between the X2 toy set and the stock to see exactly what it is that we kind of get additional. I'll tell you this, we do get an additional blaster, we get some fillers, we get new forearms and hands, we get some fillers for the stock feet, we get new lower legs and feet, which you can kind of see there. We get a filler for the cab section that I actually have put on the stock version. We get an alternate kind of head crest piece and some alternate faces. To be fair, because I got this secondhand, I don't have all of the alternate faces, which is fine with me. I don't particularly care. And I do not have one filler, which we'll see as we go through. But we're going to start off with the face that I do have with the head next to the stock head first. And so we have the stock head on right there. As you can see, he has the light blue eyes, the head is generally blue, the face is silver. The replacement, one of the faceplates, the one faceplate I have, has an open mouth. The eyes are silver, which kind of I find jarring, to be honest with you, but the Center of the head crest is silver. So do you like the center of the head crest being blue or the center of the head crest being silver? The color match is impeccable. The molding is exactly the same. So it depends on which head crest you like better, really. And if we turn our boy around, as you can see, we have the, of course, stock cab on this guy. You can remove the screw and like the, I guess like the cylinder, I suppose that's there, and it's still in the box form actually. And you can put these on, they fill in the back. They allow the trailer and the truck now to be like two separate parts if you're so inclined. It just fills out the back and I think it looks good. That being said, that's not all that's done on the back. The rest of the back though that's filled in is actually now on the upgraded version. So we're going to back up a little bit here, and with the truck cabs out of the way on both, you can see that the back of the legs are really filled in. Like we have a filler up here. It's missing on the other side. That's the one that's missing. We have fillers in the back gaps here on the legs. So, like, honestly, the gaps on the leg never used to bother me at all. But it's nice to have the fillers. It's too bad that that one on the other side is missing. What a shame. I mean, one was missing. Such is life. It's all you can do. And this is a hard, admittedly, this is a hard set to find now. It would be great if they reissued this. Otherwise, if you are interested in this set, you're going to have to be eagle-eyed. You know, I was lucky I got kind of hooked up with someone that was able to help me out, but it's not easy to find. It's a bit pricey, but it's definitely worth it and adds a lot of value. The other thing to note here is that the red pieces on the back of the legs fold in just fine, of course, on the stock. Now they don't fold in all the way on the upgraded guy because the feet that the stock one is standing on, are now folded up inside. We have fillers put in the bottom of the foot, so now it fills in the leg, but when we close this over, now it's a bit of a challenge, unfortunately. Luckily, even though it doesn't go all the way over, it's still kind of, you know, like there's a soft ratchet that holds it in place, and it doesn't at all affect articulation. He has the exact same range of motion in terms of a knee bend that he always had, which is good. He also comes with this gigantic, beautiful blaster, and you'll notice on the handle, you have a little like rectangular section. That little rectangular section is a tab that actually tabs into like the hand wrist area so that this stays securely in his hand. If you want as well, that can fold up if you're so inclined for storage. Speaking of arms and hands, here we have the stock, which is this one over here, next to the upgrade, which is this one here. You'll notice, first things first, that the white is not a perfect match. Really what you're doing is you pop off the old arms, they're on with a mushroom peg, you put the new ones on, and this armature that the, I guess, blue forearm covering is on also snaps into like a swivel right there. So what does it add? Because they look fairly similar except for the, I guess, slight color differentiation. I can live with that. Some people might be really bothered by it, but I can live with it. I have a couple of different colors of white on this guy to begin with anyway. Between the upgrade kit, the actual stock stuff, and then the PC kit. This guy's a few different shades of white. So if we look at this, the comparative things to note is that the functionality of the forearm is pretty much the exact same as it always was. On the stock, we also have a wrist that opens and closes, and while we have a bicep swivel, we have no wrist. So we have fingers that open and close, but no wrist. On the upgraded one, we have a wrist rotation. We have individually articulated fingers. The thumb still doesn't move, but if we turn the hand out, you'll notice down here on the palm, we have a rectangular hole. That is where that blaster pegs into, using that rectangular peg that I pointed out to you. So he does hold it quite securely, and once it's pegged in there, you can just wrap your fingers around it. So wrists and individually articulated fingers, you know, they're better hands, there's no doubt about it. Truth be told, this is one instance where I think the Takara offering did it better, because on the Combiner Wars offering, the whole forearm and the hand is white. On the Takara, the forearm is blue, so when you put the like forearm guard down around it, the rest of the forearm is still blue, a la G1, and only the hand is white. In this case, you still have part of the forearm that's white and the hand. So I think the one that was done for like the Japanese version is a little bit better in that regard. Just as a little aside, while this has nothing to do with this set because it's not part of it, I do have some fillers for the back of the like missile pod things, and you know what, they again, the white doesn't match, but they do fill it in, they do make it kind of solid while leaving the peg exposed to peg on properly. And now we come to the most important part of this set, which is the lower legs. I think we all knew it. I did talk briefly about how the feet now fold up on the back of the leg. I guess if you wanted to, you could remove the feet altogether if you really wanted those red panels on the back to like lock in. I mean, I guess that's an option. I don't know why you would. I don't think I would. So now we have new feet. We have new kind of front of the legs. I like the front of the stock legs better because the front of the upgrade legs has the armature that has the blue on it. I wish that that was white. As far as the feet go, I don't know. The shape of the new ones is a little bit weird, almost seems slightly too small, but they function exceptionally better. The stock ones, they do have a backward and forward movement, and I do have them extended all the way now to give Magnus some extra height, but you can collapse them a bit. They've always been a source of kind of nuisance-free. Yeah, I just made up the word nuisance-free. They've been a source of pain for some people because they've sometimes been loose and really affected his ability to stand. I've never found it a problem, but a lot of people have. What I did want, though, was absolute solidity, and I did want that ankle tilt for sure. So, what are we going to do about scores for this set? Well, we're going to say for paint, it's a pretty good match. Like, I mean, here's the thing. While aesthetically, certain choices like the blue on the front of the lower leg is something that doesn't really resonate with me. When you look at the color match of the plastic for the head, for the feet, the blue is impeccable. The white could have matched better. There's almost like I feel like there's almost like a slight pinky quality to it. So I'm going to split the difference. I'm going to say that it's about, for a color match, it's about a 7. It's, you know, it could have been done better. Here's the thing, if we're saying color match for the blue, 10. If we're saying color match for the white, maybe a 5. So I'm saying a 7, 7.5 for the overall match. This can come out of his hands. Let's talk about the articulation now with this set. The head still functions the way it always did, went left and right. Mine, of course, is on the upgrade thing, so it moves a little bit differently. Even with the X2 Toys upgrade, the arms still go all the way around. This panel, it still can go out to the side, so the arm can still go out to the side as it could. It'd be nice if that could go a little bit more. Maybe if you remove this piece, it could go a little bit more. We still have an elbow to 90 degrees. We still have our bicep swivel. Now we have an additional wrist swivel, which is nice. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers. I think they're all... Are the last two individually articulate? The last two might be joined together. I think what we have is a base pin, and the first one, the trigger finger, is individual. The index next to it is individual, and I think the last two are one piece. If they're not one piece, then they don't want to move separately on my copy right now. The big fault with this guy, unfortunately, is no waist because of transformation. Such is life. The legs, they still go all the way out to the side. By the way, these new feet also have the bottoms filled in. Just like those fillers on the stock feet that are in the back of the legs, the bottom of these have fillers on them as well. I just brought that down. So the legs go all the way out. The knee, as I said earlier, it still goes all the way to 90 degrees. And now the ankles tilt left and right, and they can go forward a bit, and not really much in the way of back, but I mean, I don't know if you really need them to go back. Here's the thing. Since I've incorporated this set, when I lay Magnus down, he is extraordinarily solid. Like, I don't worry about him tipping over at all. He is one of the most solid standing lads I have in my collection. He could have a waist. Honestly, he could have a waist. That's it. I'm going to say that the articulation, especially with this set for what it adds is easily a 9.5. It really is. It makes a huge difference to the arms and hands and a huge difference to the lower legs. What about transformation? Well, actually it's quite simple. Everything works exactly the same except for these pieces here. And what we're going to do is get him and the stock in their truck modes. And then I'll just explain this one section of the transformation. And then we'll look at one other mode that this kind of lets you do. Okay, so now we've almost got the truck mode done here. I mean, if you're so inclined, you could leave these down like that. I don't know really why you would want to, but you know, you can do it. Now you'll notice here, of course, because we have two add-on kits on here, there's a mismatch up right here of the white of the add-on and the stock white. Of course, the cab is a bit of a different color. And that'll be jarring to some people. Again, it's not to me. To me, this is a perfect Magnus now. I'll live with the white like imperfections, but I mean, to each their own, right? I would. Okay, so what happens here is we fold this up as we always did. There's a little tab there that goes into a slot behind here, which is not different. But the foot is supposed to stay, instead of being out now, we fold the foot in and it will fold up. As this closes and the knee kind of comes out, it will fold up into position on the back here. So we bring this up first and we bring it in on the side. Of course, it doesn't want to stay there now because that's my life. And then the knee needs to, you got to make sure the knee is out, fold that up like that. The knee needs to be out. That was the problem I was having over here. When I folded this up, I didn't fold the kneecap out. My mistake. So now we bring this up and in behind, kneecap is out, foot falls down. And we have all of this on the back. That is indeed jarring, there's no doubt about it. The blaster, it uses a peg hole right there on the side and you can store it there if you're inclined to want to have it there. I like this. The accessory storage is definitely a little iffy. The back here, I mean, it's definitely a little iffy. Is it enough to kind of ruin the silhouette of the truck? That's up to you, you know. If you hear my dog in the background, she's barking at something. And now that Tessa has stopped losing her mind, literally over nothing, here we have both truck modes. Now, needless to say, when you look at both of these, they're very similar. Obviously, this one has more bulk on it because it has the upgrade kit, and it does add to the back. I don't think it's egregious, but some people might. Here's the thing. For me, I feel like this alt mode is the quintessential G1 alt mode. At least as it's been offered in the main line up to now. I feel like with the two upgrade kits, it helps it tremendously, but it's not going to be for everyone. For the X2 Toys XT009 kit, we said that the paint match or the color match was about a 7.5 because the blue is perfect, but the white is eh. The articulation, it's almost perfect with this. A waist would be nice in the guy, so it's a 9.5, 9.75 overall. And that's where this shines, is the added articulation. In terms of the transformation is exactly the same. What we have to do to transform the feet now on the back is pretty minimal, and I don't think it's too bad. I think it works fine enough. Some people will probably say, no, that looks awful, and that's fine, man. I get it. I get it. It's not going to be for everyone, but it functions the way it's designed quite well. So that's about an 8. Overall, the set is about an 8. I think it's pretty good. Not for everyone, but pretty good. Some people will opt and say, no, I want the Siege. That's my Magnus. That's cool. If that's your Magnus, cool. Some people will say, no, I'm holding out for the Kingdom one. Cool. If that's your Magnus, cool. But for me, this is the Magnus that I like best, and now he feels quintessential to me. Not to mention that with this kit, we can actually do a couple of base modes as well that look like this. This, if you're so inclined for like a bulky base mode type of thing, luckily because I also have the PC set, this could still convert into a robot and be great. Or, and this wild configuration looks more city base like. I mean, it's sprawled out. I mean, this looks like it could fit in with Metroplex. So there's versatility with this set as well. For me, it was the right choice. For me, this is my Magnus, and it works for my taste and my sensibilities and my collection. It is an option to pursue if it works for you. Otherwise, hope you find the Magnus that fits best for your collecting tastes. And here we are once again, and here he is, and yeah, this is my quintessential Ultra Magnus. I said it before, for me, the Siege isn't for me, the Kingdom isn't going to be for me, the alt modes just don't hit it for me. This alt mode hits it for me. This look hits it for me. This set I think is stupendous. I would love to see it reissued right now. As far as I know, it's sold out everywhere. Though there are places that for a long time now have had a wish list. Will that ever wish get fulfilled? I don't know. Periodically, this set does appear in the secondary market. It is often expensive and often already connected to an Ultra Magnus. When I got mine, again, it was aftermarket. I got it for a fairly reasonable price, to be honest with you, and it was connected to Ultra Magnus. So I really just put the Perfect Effect set on here, which is why I have a spare Ultra Magnus now that is completely stock. But it was worth it to me because I don't plan to buy any more Ultra Magnuses. This is it for me. This makes me happy. This, for me, is the ideal Ultra Magnus. Let me know what you think about this guy and this set. Let me know which Ultra Magnus is your Ultra Magnus of choice. I appreciate you coming by. Give me some of your extremely valuable time, man. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we offer to you through Teespring. Or, of course, hit the join button right here on YouTube to become a channel member. Hit the subscribe button while you're at it. Stick around, have some fun with us, and don't forget that somehow, some way, man, each and every single day you do make a difference. And I look forward, baby, to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way, baby, right here inside the videos.